Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and welcome. I know there's 1,000 places you could be doing things on Sunday morning or out and about, and we're glad you're here with us. And for those of you who are tuning in later, we're blessed to have you. We're also blessed to have all the people who always come. We really appreciate you. I want to let you know that I do not get to see when you come on, like when you do Facebook Live, sometimes, you can see the people that come on. We don't get that opportunity because we're using a different software. So if you would please say hello, we would really appreciate it. That way I know I have an audience. It's always nice to know. I'm not just talking to myself here. Well, I'm never just talking to myself because, Oz and Tina are here, but and Faith, but, it feels like I'm talking to myself. I'd like to tell you that if you want to do watch parties, this is a good time. You can click on that watch party thing, and it will allow you and your friends to watch this together. Supporting me on the pulpit today is the wise and powerful Oz. He's going to be the practitioner on duty. And supporting me in song is Albertina Giuffre, better known as Tina. And as always, we are using the music of Fairy Lane Silver and Karen Drucker. So we really appreciate them, and I just like to do a shout out to them every time. So I want to invite you, if you know the words to the songs today, the response songs, to please sing along. You are either alone or you have a significant other who's not going to care if you sing out loud and proud. So we invite you to do that. It helps get you in the space and the feeling of the service. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God right here, right now, at all times, in all places. I know that presence is here in me, with me now and with each one of us. For it is what animates us. It is what creates us anew at every moment, at every time. I know this blessing that we call life is nothing but the presence and the manifestation of that God principle, rolling through time, rolling through space, in us, as us. It is who and what we are. And I accept that for myself. I accept that for members of our service who are watching and who are participating and who are making it happen. God is moving in us, as us, through us to create this blessing that we call life and that we call today. And for today, I give great thanks, and I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. So again, say hello if you're here. Sing along with the music if you know the words.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I have seen, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
I'm back. Okay. Had to get a little drinky there. So again, I'd like to invite you to say hello if you're here, if you've just joined us. And we have this little like button, the little thumbs up. If you hear something that you like, whether that's the music or something that I say, you can always click on that like button. We also have a love button. So if something really touches your heart, whether that again is song or prayer or me saying something, you can send a little heart to us. We love getting love. And of course, you can always use the wow button. And that is for something that really inspires you, just an aha that you might have during all of this. Today, the topic is rolling back the stone, which is a continuation of last week's Are You Ready to Receive? And last week, I messed up and gave Tina the wrong songs to sing. So she's going to sing last week's songs this week, which, they're great songs. So it's all good. All right. So I'm going to turn this over to Tina now.
Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive the gifts of the goddess? I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to be healed? Are you ready to be healed? Are you ready to be healed? Are you ready to be healed from the gifts of the Spirit? Ready to be healed. Yes, I am ready to be healed. To be healed. I am ready. I am ready to be healed. I am ready to be healed. To be healed. I am ready from the gifts of the Spirit. To receive. Yes, I am ready to receive. To receive. Yes, I am ready. I am to receive. To receive. To receive. I am ready. The gift from the universe.
Thank you, Tina. That was beautiful. That was a song from Karen Drucker's Song of the Spirit, I think, if I remember right. All right, I'll see you in the back end.
Okay.
Like I said before, the topic actually today is rolling back the stone, which is a reference to actually when Jesus was in the cave and an angel came and rolled back the stone and revealed the resurrection. So in terms of receiving, because we've been talking about, are you ready to receive? In terms of receiving, that's pretty much what it is. Our practitioners, I always say, have pulled back the veil to show the banquet that is laid out before us. And that's pretty much, proof of the pudding kind of stuff. And so that's why we call it rolling back the stone. We're going to continue with receptivity this week. As I said last week, there could be no gift without the giver and the receiver. So we're going to be working on this receptive mode that we're in. So for those of you who are joining us this week and were not here last week, I'm going to do a quick recap. The first thing we were doing was preparing our minds to receive. I used the analogy of a garden, that if you were planting seeds, you wouldn't just throw seeds out there, throw some soil and throw some seeds out there. You would, replace the soil, make sure the soil is nice and firm and packed down, and you would dig a hole and you would put the seed in it, and you would fertilize, and you would water, and you would let the sun get to it, and then you wouldn't go back 5 minutes later and dig up the seed to see if it had grown. But unfortunately, that's what we do with our mind. Whenever we're doing treatment, we want to dig it back up and say it hasn't happened yet. What's going on? And so we're using that analogy all the way through this. And so last week I said, let's look at our beliefs and discover which limiting beliefs that we have around receiving are keeping us from our good. One of them was, are you good enough to receive? The truth is, God doesn't make junk. So, of course you're good enough to receive. Everyone is good enough to receive. We've got to treat our consciousness, our belief systems that say we aren't good enough to receive. Do we deserve to receive? Again, we don't have to earn it. It's already given to us. We are made in the image and likeness of God, and therefore we do deserve to receive. And so we have to work on our beliefs with that. And I gave the example last week of going to lunch with your friends and you offer to pay or they offer to pay, and you're like, oh, are you sure? Or you give argument about it, And the truth is, if we are saying to the universe, oh, I don't really deserve to have my lunch paid for, then other things will not come our way because what we focus our attention on, we create. more of. And so instead of saying, oh, are you sure? Or, any form of it's not okay for me to receive, we're going to start saying, oh, thank you. I'm not perfect. It takes me a bit sometimes. People will offer and I'll go, okay, thank you. And there's this little gap in between. The other thing is learning to ask for help. I've had to learn over the years to ask for help. I was unable to do that for many, many years. What I finally figured out is by not asking people to help, I have limited their ability to give to me. And so you need the giver and the receiver. So we've been looking at all of those beliefs that were limiting us and keeping us from our good. So this week we're going to work on preparing our minds to receive. And so again, we're going to prepare that garden. We're going to spend a lot of time getting the prep work done. So the first thing is, that was last week. I'm sorry. Yes. And we do spiritual mind treatment in religious science. We don't do beseeching prayer. We don't ask God for self. That's right. Okay. And so what we do instead is we say we're treating our consciousness. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said that what we do when we do spiritual mind treatment is we treat the one praying or the one who's being prayed for. And we treat the consciousness. In other words, we are changing the vibration of our thoughts to match the vibration of God's thoughts. God doesn't know anything about lack or limitation. God only knows abundance and plenty. And so when we do spiritual mind treatment, especially if we're practitioners doing it for you, we're clearing the pathway. We talked about there being a lake of consciousness that we dump into all the time. We can either dump bad thoughts or good thoughts or hard thoughts or easy thoughts or struggle thoughts or any of those thoughts. We can dump into that lake of receptivity. However, as practitioners, what we are trained to do is to dump into that lake of receptivity all the good and the calm thoughts and the peaceful thoughts and the abundant thoughts. And you're free to take whatever you want out of it. And so that's what we're doing to prepare the soil. We are doing the treatment steps. The first two steps are more like a meditation. They are recognition. Recognition is knowing or bringing to our awareness that God is simply all there is. There can't be two powers because they would cancel each other out if they were of equal power. And one can't be like the devil couldn't be more powerful than God because then, God couldn't exist. So the reality of it is that God is simply all there is. So we come to that recognition of that idea. The second one is unification. So if God is all there is, then everything in this universe is made of God. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about plants or minerals or humans or animals or a tabletop, everything is made of God. And if that is so, then there can be no place that God is not. Okay? So it's like a watermark on a page. We like to say this is the team of God that we have here on Sunday. So we have Tina and we have Oz and we have Faith and we have me. And Lynn is out there watching the animals for us. If somebody has to. So we say we're one team in God. Because there is no place where Lynn leaves off and Tina begins. There's no place where I leave off and Oz begins. There's no place where Faith leaves off and Lynn begins. It is one team, one watermark. And you can have many images in that watermark and the page is still going to flow through that watermark. And so that's really the reality of God. God always flows through us and we are connected by it through it. So those are the first two steps. Very much like meditation, which is what we're really going to be talking about today. The third step is a realization step, which is very much like an affirmation. We state in the positive that this is already so. And our mind, because we've done the work in the first two steps to prepare the garden, prepare the soil, it is open to, it is in receptivity to receive that affirmation. And so, so it sinks in. The fourth step is called Thanksgiving. I like to call it the gratitude step, but I didn't name it. In which we are grateful not grateful that God is all there is. We're not grateful that we are one in God. We are not grateful for whatever realization it is. We don't pick up that issue. What we say is, I feel that state of gratitude to know that this is already done, or that this is so. And that's it. And then release, which is the hardest step, really, is releasing it, knowing that it's done. So we say, and so it is. Sometimes we follow it up with amen. We don't really need to. But a lot of people are really comfortable with amen. So I always like to include both. I say, and so it is, amen. And then I don't go back to it. And every time I catch myself picking up the issue again, looking at my watch, going, it hasn't happened yet, what's going on here? I remind myself, nope, this is already done. I've already done the work. Here's God has it done. And so that was basically last week. This week we're going to talk about the state of receptivity. Now last week we were talking about getting rid of those things that kept us from being receptive and getting our minds ready to receive. And this week we're going to get into that state of receptivity. And the tool we're going to use for that is meditation. Now, the form of meditation that we use in religious science is a little bit different than most. For instance, Buddhist meditation is about getting the mind out of the way by getting the body under control. I had this massage therapist that I went to for 29 years once, and she had this boyfriend. I can't even remember his name. Anyway, and he was so excited because he was going to this Buddhist meditation retreat. Yeah. So I was kind of interested. So I was like, oh, so what does it look like? And he goes, oh, it's wonderful. For 6 months, we get up, and when the light is, as soon as the sun comes up, we get up and we right away go into a sitting meditation, and we sit there until our evening meal. And our evening meal is a bowl of broth with a cup of rice, and that's all we have all day. And we go back into meditation until the sun goes down. And when the sun goes down, we lay on the floor on a reed mat. And then we get up in the morning and we start all over again. And I was like, okay. So what was the purpose of all that? Like, why are you, I mean, because I can't even imagine that, being that uncomfortable all the time. And he said, we put our bodies in these contortionist positions so we can train the body to get out of the way so our mind can be completely clear. And I said, I was joking. I said, kind of like what? Catholicism. And he goes, yeah, kind of. He says, we're so consumed with our bodily needs that our minds are not free to meditate. So I said, well, what's the purpose of meditation? And he said, the purpose of Buddhist meditation is to get the body out of the way so we can become aware. So I said, so what's the purpose of becoming aware? And he said, becoming aware is so that you are more enlightened. And I said, so what is the purpose of becoming enlightened? It was really interesting because I was really trying to understand why somebody would put them through those kinds of rigorous things, and torture the body that way. I was really trying to understand, like, why would you want to do that to yourself? What would be the point of that? And he said, then your mind is 100% present in every moment, which I get. I mean, I work on being present as well. I don't think I put my body through those contortions to do it, but I also do work on being present all the time because I really do believe that is the ultimate goal. But our purpose in religious science is for establishing a relationship with that inner presence that God within us. It's all about cultivating that relationship and not so much about training the mind to overcome the body. Although we are training our mind whenever you do meditation. But the biggest thing that gets in the way of that is all the excuses we use for why we don't meditate. People will say, over the years I've heard all the excuses because I teach meditation. One is, I just don't have time to meditate. And I think about that and I think, well, time. Time is a choice, You have time for one thing, you have time for another thing. I took this real estate seminar one time where this guy was talking about rental properties. And he said, if anybody ever tells you that they can't pay the rent. He says you need to say to them, okay, my mic doesn't seem to be working as well as I'd like to. I'll have to work on that next week. Where's my mic? On this thing. Right here. Okay, we're gonna pull the keyboard away and see if that comes. Where was I? Where was I? Oh, the real estate seminar. So he said when people tell you they can't pay the rent, you call bullshit on it. And you say you can pay the rent. You're choosing not to. You're choosing to use your money in a different way. So the challenge that I make to you is if you say you don't have time to meditate, is that you're choosing to use your time differently. So, and that's fine. Everything's a choice. But if you're choosing not to meditate, just remember you're not preparing the soil the way you could be. Another one that I get a lot of the time is I can't make my mind stay on it. And the things that get in the way, we like to call it the monkey mind. Monkey mind is really interesting. It will tell you that you are uncomfortable, which I think is what the point of the Buddhist thing is. It will tell you that you're uncomfortable, and to which you need to just say, I'm okay. It will tell you that you needed to do something, to which I always take a pad of paper with me into meditation so that I can write down any of those little negative things that happen that say, oh yeah, you forgot to do such and such. You better get up and do that right now. So I write it down, know if I've got it handled. And I just tell it to take a hike whenever it gets really bad. I remember, and the other one is I can't meditate. So when I was a kid, I went to this camp, the Jewish Community Center camp up in Elbert County, which in those days, Elbert County was flatlands. There wasn't anything there. Now there's all kinds of homes, there's everything. Life is found in Elbert County. But in those days, all that was up there really was the ranch and a few ranches, outside of that. And we have this guy, Shorty, who was our instructor for horseback riding. And it was really funny because he would tell us to do something, and we little girls would go, "Oh, we can't do that." And he would say, "If you believe you can't, you won't be able to." And then he would chastise us forever and get us to the point where we were afraid to say, "I can't do that," because we knew it would cause another tirade. But it taught me a very valuable lesson, and that is that was my first introduction to that. He was not a religious scientist in any way, shape, or form. But it taught me, that was my first teaching of religious science at that moment. Because I realized that every time I say I can't, the universe says, you're right, you can't do this. And every time that I say I can do this, like a little fire truck or a little engine that could, when I say I can do this, the universe goes, yes, you can do this. So we want to make sure that we're not saying things like, I can't do that. What are some of the others? Let's see. Grab my notes real quick here. Relationship. So here's the thing. We're cultivating a relationship with God, with the God within us. But there is no other outside us to have a relationship with. Let me ask you a question. If somebody said to you, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I don't have any time for you. Maybe I could give you 5 minutes once a month. How would you feel? Would you be interested in that relationship? I don't think so. But that's what we do with meditation. It's like, I don't have time for that. Okay, well, so what you're saying to God is, I don't have time for my relationship with you. Or, I can give you 5 minutes once a month. And that's not a good thing to do. I had this mentor minister, or this teacher actually, at Mile High one time, Patty Rubin, and she used to say, jump to center. And we would be like, jump to center. It wasn't until later that I really got the lesson of that. And that is, if you spend time cultivating that relationship with God on a daily basis, then when a crisis occurs, you can jump to center. You don't have to go through the preparation. You don't have to run around trying to calm yourself down. You just jump to center. And many years ago, I had this kid living with me that did bull riding. And it was really interesting because he would start to get on the bull, and I'd go up and whisper in his ear, wherever you go, God goes before you, preparing the way and keeping you safe from harm. I want you to focus on that and nothing else. And he didn't do very well at bull riding at that time, but he never really got hurt when we were focused that way. These days, not so much, but he's had like 50 concussions or over 50, I don't know. But that's really the point of all of it is wherever I go, God goes before me, preparing the way, keeping me safe from harm. If I can just do that much every single day, keep that foremost in my mind, I do believe it keeps us safe. Now, I'm not saying, go tell your toddler to say those words and then jump out in the middle of the freeway. That does not make sense. In religious science, we say treat and move your feet. And what that means is that we change our consciousness and we practice, being, what was it that Jan Coulter used to say? You're so darn practical. We want to be practical. We're not going to challenge God to see if we will be rescued. What we're going to do is we're going to change our consciousness. We are going to focus on the positive, and we're going to prepare. I remember taking the warrior training from the Millionaire Mind, and it was prepare for anything and expect nothing. And I think that's really true. Like, we need to walk through life being prepared for anything, but at the same time, focus our attention on God. Focus our attention on that peace and power and safety of God. So wherever I go, God goes before me, preparing the way and keeping me safe. Another one is, the idea that meditation has to be this big ritual. I have to sit in a certain way with my legs crossed a certain way. I have to hold my fingers just so. I have to put my head up so the flow can go through me. And I have to sit in a room that has an altar. Sometimes we get so caught up in the format of it that we forget that meditation is very, very simple. I remember years ago, I didn't know it was meditation. It wasn't until I got into religious science that I realized I had been meditating for years. But I had this ritual when I lived in Long Beach. And every Sunday morning, it just so happened it was Sundays, but because I worked Monday through Saturday. But I would, on Sunday afternoons, I would go down, late afternoons, I would go down to Laguna Beach. I would drive down there. It's like an hour drive, something like that. And I would go to the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. And I would get myself a dozen chocolate-covered strawberries. And I would sit on the beach, and I would wait for the tide. And once the tide hit, I would eat my strawberries. And I just sit there and revel in the feeling. I don't know exactly what caused what. I don't know if the tide causes negative ions or if the chocolate had that effect on me. They say it's like an aphrodisiac or whatever. I don't know if that's what it was or if it was a combination of all of those things. All I know is that was my feel good every Sunday. I would get those dozen chocolate-covered strawberries, and I would sit on the beach, and I would wait for that tide, and then I would sit and eat my strawberries, and I would be in absolute ecstasy for that short time. And then I got into religious science, and I realized, I was meditating. Duh. And so it doesn't have to be that big of a deal. I mean, I had a ritual. Granted, there was a ritual around it, but it wasn't set out to be a ritual. It just felt good, so I did it that way. There's a book called The 1 Minute Meditator, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name of the author, but I know you can look online and see 1 Minute Meditator. And he proposes in that book that you stand in a grocery store line and begin to close your eyes and just begin to meditate, just to be present in that moment, the sights, the sounds, the feelings, feel the people around you, feel the energy in the grocery store. He recommends all kinds of little tips like that you can get into meditation right away. And you don't have to worry about what's going on around you because you're staying conscious. And really what that's about is quieting the mind, where you're just inside yourself. You go within to get quiet, and you allow the feeling to just wash over you. Did you get it? Oh, okay. It's called the 1 minute meditator, I know, but I know I have a book up here somewhere, but that's okay. And although our purpose is cultivating a relationship and not necessarily to become enlightened or whatever, although that's a byproduct of it, we do need to take time to acknowledge it, that God within us, that inner essence of God. To acknowledge it, to spend time with it, to allow ourselves to feel it, to breathe it, to be it, to understand it, to know it. Because that's what's going to make a difference in our lives. Receptivity is a very important state to be in. Because it is that state of receptivity that is going to allow us to just sit and connect, sit and be, and change our minds, change our vibration. And so change those things that we attract to ourselves. I remember years ago, we had this dove, we had a planter on the porch, this hanging planter. And we always would plant flowers in it every year. And one year we didn't plant flowers in it, and all of a sudden I came outside one time, and Lynn and I both had the same reaction. We saw this bird in this planter, and we thought somebody put it there. It looked like a little ceramic bird, and we were both like, huh, who put that bird in there? And then she moved, and we were like, oh gosh, she's real. And she raised her babies there, and she came back 5 different times. And I remember the last time she was there, it was really cute. I was working at my desk, and I heard the and I knew she was back, but I didn't want to disturb her because the first couple of days, she was building out her nest, getting everything prepared for the eggs. And so I didn't want to disturb her, so I would sit at my desk and I would just listen to the cooing. And then Vincent woke up and was running out of the house, totally unaware, and takes his pit bull out there with him. And I'm like, oh God, okay. And I went out to see if she was there, and she was. She was fine. But I used to just sit and commune with that bird. It was just the weirdest thing because we couldn't talk. But I would sit there and I would feel her energy. She would feel my energy. And apparently she liked it because she kept coming back. I don't know if it was her or maybe one of her offspring. But I know that we had, I think the first year she came back down twice, and the second year twice, and then the last year she was there one time. But we would cook hamburgers and have smoke in the grill, we had dogs all over the place making noise. We had guys all over the place making noise. And she stayed, and her offspring, got used to us. We would celebrate every little thing that they did. And one time I was in my garden working, and I realized that the babies were just standing there right next to me. They weren't flying away. They weren't going anywhere. They were just hanging out with me while I did my gardening. But I think it was a result of our communing with the spirit together, that we sat in that space together and felt each other and knew that it was a peaceful, calm state to be in. And I think of my meditation that same way, that when I'm communing with God within me, what I'm doing is I'm allowing peace to wash over me. I'm allowing the quietness of the universe to be my guide. I'm allowing the wind, not strong wind, obviously, to be my ally. I just sit there and let it move through me. The breezes are wonderful. I revel in them. And, sometimes we have misters on the patio, which really helps when it's getting hot. But I just sort of allow all of that to happen. And that's what I think we're doing in that lake of consciousness that I talked about, that lake of receptivity. when we do our meditation work, any of us, we are contributing to that lake of receptivity, that peace, that calm, that serenity. So what we do for ourselves, but we also do it for the world. And because we are connected, because everything is one, anything I do does have that effect. It allows the world to change. I mean, butterflies can change, excuse me, butterflies can actually change weather patterns. Flocks of birds can change weather patterns. And it's because we are more powerful than we think we are, and we do contribute to the world. So this week, I'd like you to practice with me doing 5 minutes a day of meditation. It's really not a big deal. If you realize that it takes you longer than that to brush your teeth, you can do 5 minutes of meditation, and you can do it many different ways. You can, to initiate a meditation, remember to bring your pad of paper in there, so if your mind starts to wander, you can write down stuff and say, yeah, I'll take care of that later. But you can do, like, I always talk about this one, where you look at a candle flame for 1 full minute, and then you put your hands over your eye sockets here, and you're not going to press, you're just going to put enough pressure that you feel it, and you're going to watch, there'll be a little flame right here, and you want to try and keep that flame quiet. So what it wants to do is this. And if you can keep it like that, just for a minute, that's only 2 minutes of meditation. But if you can do that, then the longer, and you take time to increase it every day, but the longer you can hold that there, the longer your awareness is in that space of knowingness. And that's where you want to be. Apparently my bird's taking it down. Okay, so another thing you can do is your breathing. You know, you can count in for 4 counts, breathe in, hold it for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts. You always want to breathe in through your nose, count through your mouth. But you can do that and start increasing the time. And focusing on your thoughts, focusing on even like a Bible verse that speaks to you, or anything from one of Ernest Holmes' books. I just love. I have a bunch of them in the bathroom. I just, I open them and I look at them, and then I carry that through the day. But if the monkey mind starts to keep you from being able to watch your breathing or focus on that saying or whatever it is you're trying to do, I like to think of the monkey mind as a little monkey, and I put him in a little fig raft, and I send him down the stream, because I really do know that is my conscious mind, or my unconscious mind, trying to stand up and say, hey, pay attention to me, and it keeps me from that meditative state. So if you'll practice with me this week, whether it's in the grocery store, or you have a special room set aside, or you want to sit Buddhist style, whatever you want to do, whatever is comfortable for you. The idea is just to commune with that spirit within you for at least 5 minutes a day. Will you participate with me? All right, let's have a prayer. Right now, I'm just moving into the awareness of God as simply all there is. I see God everywhere. All I need to is look at the various forms of life, just right there on my patio even. Look at the trees, the plants, the ones that grow because we plant them, and the ones that grow because they want to. I see it in everyday life. As I'm driving down the street, I notice the plethora of cars and people. I hear it in the cars, in the noises of the birds. I hear it in all of life. God's essence, God's being. I celebrate God's life and love as a feeling, a knowingness that is simply all there is, all there ever has been, all there ever will be. Only God. And so that is where I find myself, in the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every deed, every action is guided and led by that one infinite life that lives itself through me. Through the heart that beats me. Through the love that emanates from me. Through the truth of God that communicates through my mouth. So I just know that God is all that I am. My very essence, my very life, my being, my very being. And I am connected to it, by it, through it, as it. To everyone and everything. It doesn't matter whether it's human or animal or vegetable or mineral, for all is one. I know this truth to be so for Faith and for Lynn and for Oz and for Tina, for we are one team in the life of God. God's heart beats within everything that we do, and God's love emanates through us in everything that we do. And all of life lives itself through us as one being, one power, one presence. I know the same truth to be so for everyone here today who's listening, whether that be in real time or later. For we are one, all connected, all powerful, all life, all love, all beingness, one power, one presence, one God. It is from this place of knowingness that I bless this coming week, because I know that life powers us. I know that love fuels us. I know that peace pervades us. I know that the calm and tranquility of God is our experience. And we stay present to it in our practices. I know this to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer this week, because I do know that the power of God enters into the situation, bringing its vibration of glory. I know that that lake of receptivity receives that information as done and good and very good. So I right now roll back that stone or pull back that veil and reveal that truth here and now. I receive their good in their name right now. I call it good and very good, and I give thanks for it, as I do know that with gratitude and love, this is done. And so it is. That was a celestial prayer. Oh yeah, come back to real world. You've got so much fun. Okay. Right now is our offering time, and I got good news for you. I was able to get that changed. I worked with GoDaddy, and I got it changed. So this is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you've already received, and that which you have created in mind but you have not seen in the physical. You can go to oasiscsl.org. And on that homepage, if you go down to the middle, you will actually see Tina and the gang. Instead of that church picture, our offering affirmation and a button that says contribute now. I'm so glad we were able to get that changed. So we invite you to participate you have the game. She says it still says donate now. I'm going to have to go back and change that again. Because I know I changed it. I checked it and it was corrected. I don't know if it's going to revert back every time. I hope not. But anyway, because we don't really believe in donate. Donate is like a one-time thing. What you're doing by contributing to our ministry here is you're contributing to our message getting out into the world and affecting the lives of many people. And so if you're watching this later, you can do this. You can still participate with us in this. But I ask you to contribute with the consciousness of, I am now contributing to the message getting out into the world. Please say this offering affirmation with me again. It's on your screen. This perfect gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive. And so it is. And you just hit the button now and go ahead.
Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Every time I open my heart, I receive all that I need. Knowing that God is my soul, I relax and let it flow. And know that money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Coming to me. I got money easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. I got money. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. And I have all I need. It's all inside of me. I just ask and let go. Spirit, direct the flow. I know that money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. I got money. Easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Where's the money? So much money. I got money. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. So much money. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. I got money. Money makes the world go round. Coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. So much money. Money, 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 money. Coming to me. Money, 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 money. Coming to me. I got money. La 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 la. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me.
Whew. I love that. It's like, I'm hoping that gets stuck in people's heads, but you didn't ever do it in Dutch.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my God. I was happy to keep up because there's so much background and where I come in. And I had to do it like 20 times.
You want to sing? You want to sing it just once in Dutch? Like just one phrase of it?
Het komt naar me toe, makkelijk en het komt naar me toe, het is zo makkelijk. See, it's not a singing language. Het is goed en makkelijk. Het is goed en makkelijk. Okay, that flows a little bit better. We have to,
texted me and said, "This is gonna break my old Dutch tongue," or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's
"What?" And so
awesome.
then she sent it to me in Dutch. I'm like, "You should do it." Oh, that's funny.
No, I
That's
didn't
funny.
check it
Thank you,
out. I
Tina.
just forgot
That
all
was again
about
a
it.
Karen.
Oh, yeah.
I figured you probably had a lot going on, so it was cool. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to share that with us.
Oh, boy.
You'll have to teach Faith that so that we can sing it in Dutch around here. All right, I'll see you on the other end here.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. We have this wonderful ministry of prayer that is comprised of all these licensed practitioners from coast to coast that make up our God Squad. And we are so blessed to have them. And they are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. But today, Oz is available, as always, on Sunday. He's available for what we call our 1 minute miracle. It is a time, it's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share whatever issue you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. He is available by video chat after the service, so you can reach out to him, Bob Oswald. Faith is now typing that in there. And please know that you can reach out to our practitioners. I think what we're going to do, I think the easiest way to do that is probably to put, if I can do that, put a Facebook link to all of your Facebook pages onto the website under your name. I'm going to try to do that so that people can reach out to you and make arrangements for payment or whatever during the week, if they would like a counseling session. I also want to tell you that you do not have to be a licensed practitioner to participate in our God Squad every week. Every name that is in the ministry of prayer gets prayed on it every day for a week by the God Squad. And we have people of different denominations on that God Squad for that purpose. And so if you would like prayer for something, you can either type prayer in the comment section just for generic prayer. You can type an issue that you have that you would like us to pray for you. Your name shows up, so we know your name and we know whatever issue. If you don't feel comfortable doing that publicly, you can always message me and we will make sure that it gets onto that prayer list. If you would like to participate in our God Squad and you are willing to make the commitment and follow through with praying every day on those requests for a week, please type yes in the comments, and that will get you put onto that page, or that group, I should say. It's a private group on Facebook that only the people who are in that group see the prayer requests. And if you would like to be part of our bigger community and find out about things ahead of time, we have a public-facing page on Facebook, a group so if you will type more in the comment field, we will get you added to that one as well. That's being part of our online community. I want to remind you that masks and one-of-a-kind outfits are available from Brooks Limited. That's Brooks Ltd. You should have the link there in the comments. Bracelets and mala beads by Brooks and Bailey, and I will put that up here real quick. And you can get a hold of her through Brooks and Bailey 0307@gmail.com. And it benefits the Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue. It's a very worthy cause, so we want to encourage you to do that. We also want to encourage you to buy Fairy Elaine Silver's music. She was the first to reach out to us and say, please use my music. So we do like to support her. We have her information there, so you can go on her website and buy her CDs. You will need to contact her by mail or by email so that you can find out where to send the check. I sent the check to the address on the website and it didn't get to her. It came back to me. She apparently there's some kind of glitch with her being able to update that website. So just to let you know, you will have to reach out to her via email. But she has some incredible music on her site. So take advantage of that and buy some music from her. Also, Karen Drucker, we have that link there too. We use Elaine Silver's We Are All One every Sunday. We use Karen Drucker's music a lot. Both of the songs that Tina performed today are Karen Drucker's. She has gifted us her entire collection of 20 albums with sing-alongs and karaoke tracks and everything. She gifted that to us. So we are tithing to her, and we are asking all of you to support her as well by purchasing her music. She has chants. She has all kinds of different CDs with regular songs, chants, sing-alongs, all kinds of stuff. So please do support Karen Drucker. She supports us. We support her. And check out our website at oasiscsl.org, please. We have a lot of our audio sermons from the years 2010, 11, and 12 up there now. And we always have a video sermon for these ones that we're recording now. We always download those and put them up on our website. So we've got a lot of good stuff on there. All right, and sing along with this one if you know the words.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And I go into this week knowing that each moment I can be made aware of the God that is in all things. For God is everything I see, everything I hear. It is that power that breathes me. It is that power that creates all life from one moment to the next. And I become aware of that, and I enjoy that blessing. I know this is true, and I let it be so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. All right. So thank you for being with us today. We are so blessed to have you. Tune in next week and every week to join us for the Sunday celebration, and stay safe out there. Bye until next week. We love you.
Maybe.